Miter saw. Specifically, it is a dual compound miter saw. Why is it considered a dual compound miter saw? Does anybody know?
Because it.
Yeah. Miguel's going like this. Okay. The blade moves in multiple fashions. So one way is this lever up front here will take you to common angles that are cut for the material. So right now it's 90 degrees to this fence, which is the most common. You can move it over by clicking this button up, and if you look down at the scale, you can move it to a lot of presets. So 45-degree angles, 30s, 15s, 20s, used for a lot of carpentry work. All right, so that's one way that the blade articulates. Make sure you always move it back to 0, and you press this down firmly to lock it into place. Okay. The other reasons why it's considered a compound miter saw, and I'll go in the order in which you will most likely use them, is the blade moves back and forth. So if you see a compound miter saw with these rods in the back, these rails allow the blade to cut wider material. Okay? When we are not using this, when we're using it for narrow material like this 1x4, then we lock that out with the adjustment knob right here, because it's one limitation we can set up, so that way it eliminates a hazard for us. The last way it articulates is if you see right here with the fence is angled here. So that gives us a suggestion that the blade will move this way as well. And the way you do that is with this handle, this kind of triangle knob back here. Hold it steady with one hand, and then it's going to want to fall, and I loosen it, and I can move this back and forth like so. So this way it should go. It's just hitting on something. The scale says it can go this way, but it's just kind of rubbing on something. But you can see how far it can lay over, and then if you lay it over super far, then you would move your fence over a little bit like so. So it's pretty cool. I could adjust this here, and I could adjust this here, and in one cut, zip, I could put two different angles on one board. Okay, so it makes you more efficient. All right, so I'm going to 90 this back out, lock that down, and this is kind of tricky to zero back out. The best way is to look from behind the saw, and there's a little scale right here to see the 0 marker, and then go ahead and tighten that back up. And then the best way is to check the blade with the square. Now, all this is being done while I'm de-energized, okay? So whenever you're making adjustments to a piece of equipment, make sure she's unplugged. All right? Now, to make sure that I am zeroed out, then what I do is I just bring this up, I lift this guard, and I put a square on the table, and then I put it next to my blade. And I make sure that it's flush with my square. Okay, I like it. I'm fairly confident that it's at 90 degrees, and I'm good. All right, so that's kind of the basic adjustments you can make to this saw. I'm just going to tighten them up a little bit more. Now this is what we consider the down position of the miter saw. This is the safe position, and this is where we leave things as we finish cutting them. Okay, so like on your guys' handouts, I want to kind of go through those bulleted items with you, and then I will go over the quiz as I finish this lecture. But materials to be cut. Materials to be cut are anything that do not have defects in them, as far as major bows or wows. So you want to make sure the material is straight and flat. Handouts? Got handouts? Good, please. They're for your notes, and you get to use these notes for your test. So making sure that all the material is straight, it's not warped, and then another thing is clamping down the material. clamping down the material. So you always want to clamp down your material.
Hard at work.